Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're so excited to have you join us. We're just going to wait another minute or so to let the last couple students in, and we'll begin shortly. All right, I will kick things off. So, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Spring 2024 webinar, Essential Insights into Academic Advising. My name is Stephanie. I'm one of the success coaches here at FIU Online, and I'm thrilled to be here with my co-hosts, Natalie Enriquez and April Lewis. Today, we're diving into the world of academic advising, and we're exploring the similarities and differences between success coaches and academic advisors. And we're sharing tips on how to make the most out of your advisor-student relationship. We have set aside some time at the end for some question and answers, but before we really kick things off, let's go over just a few housekeeping rules. So firstly, this webinar is being recorded. So after we conclude, you'll receive an email containing both the webinar recording and the slides. And if you are attending for extra credit, keep an eye out on Panther Connect in the following days to ensure that you do receive the credit for being here with us today. We also have a question and answer feature available below. Our amazing team is standing by behind the scenes to address any questions that you may have, so please don't hesitate to use that feature, but please just remember that the Q&A is visible to everyone. So for anything that's a little more sensitive or more personal inquiries, please feel free to reach out to your success coach or to your academic advisors directly, or you can email us afterwards. And then lastly, you'll receive a brief survey at the end of the webinar, and it'll take no more than a minute to complete. We really value and appreciate your feedback, and it helps us to tailor future webinars to your preferences. So with all that being said, welcome once again. We are so thrilled to have you here with us. And now I will hand it over to my co-host, Natalie, who will delve into exactly what a success coach is and what we do.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Natalie. I'm one of the success coaches here at FIU Online. So first, we're going to dive into what we do as success coaches and how we help our students. Our role as your success coach is to act as an added layer of support to facilitate your journey to graduation. We are here to guide you through all the resources and opportunities that FIU has to offer. A few of the ways we coach our students include discussing focus areas to better understand your goals and needs, giving you tips on how to accomplish your goals, connecting you to university resources such as tutoring, financial support, and career explorations. We also work together with you to establish goals that are important to you, for example, making the dean's list or getting an internship. And we also coach you through any course-related challenges that you may have. Next slide, please.
Awesome. So this is our amazing success coach team. It is always nice putting faces to names. So whether you've spoken to us before, you've seen our emails, or this is your first time knowing about a success coach, this is our amazing team. So we all handle specific programs, which you can see listed under our names. So we have Jackie, we have Janessa, Nahum, Sarah. Next slide, please. We also have Tim, myself, Natalie, and we are also having a new coach who is joining us soon, which we are so thrilled about. And don't worry if you didn't get a chance to match your program with your success coach. These slides are going to be sent to you after this webinar is over, so you can go back and find who your success coach is. Next slide, please.
All right, so here we have the focus areas, which are topics we discussed during our conversation with students. Some of our focus areas include commitment to completion, which involves considering your motivation to earn the degree and establishing goals to achieve it. We have school community, which focuses on discovering ways to get you involved with the university through clubs, organizations, or events. Managing commitments is another area we can talk about to help you come up with a plan based on your specific commitments and needs. Next is health and support, where you can learn about all the available resources and programs. We also discuss finances with our students so that we can help you find scholarships and connect you with financial aid resources if needed. Another area is academics, where we learn about your academic progress and academic skills. Effectiveness is another focus area where together we can develop a time management plan with you and you can learn about tools to keep yourself on track. Finally, we also explore your career goals and how your degree will help you achieve them. So I hope you enjoyed learning a little more about the focus areas, which help us guide you to success throughout your academic journey here. Next slide, please.
Awesome. So now we're going to talk a bit about the differences between success coaches and academic advisors. But first thing to note is that both academic advisors and success coaches serve as crucial pillars of support within the FIU community. So as you can see highlighted on the Venn diagram are some of the differences and similarities between success coaches and academic advisors. So I'll start with the success coach. So the success coach role goes beyond academics. We offer valuable assistance not only with coursework, but also in essential life skills like time management, effective studying, maintaining well-being, and the list goes on and on. So we also help students tackle challenges outside of the classroom, such as adjusting to college life or shifting life priorities and managing stress or getting connected to any campus resources that may be of assistance or may be able to help you. So with ongoing mentorship and encouragement, us as coaches, we help to create a safe environment that promotes overall student success and well-being. And we are here every step of the way from orientation to graduation, providing guidance and support as students navigate their educational journey. So moving over to academic advisors, they play such a pivotal role in guiding students through their academic journeys. So they're the ones who will help map out your academic path, ensuring that you are on track to meet degree requirements and graduate on time, from exploring potential careers and majors to deciphering different and complex academic policies. They're there to make sure that you understand all of your options. So whether you have a scheduling conflict or you're struggling with a particular course, they're there to help you, and they're ready to help troubleshoot any academic issues that may arise. And while you sometimes typically meet at some more crucial points in the academic calendar, no matter when you meet with them, their impact is profound and it helps to set you up for success every step of the way. So both academic advisors and success coaches share a common mission, which is to empower students to thrive academically, professionally, and personally. We both serve as guides through the intricacies of higher education, offering invaluable support and assistance. Both advisors and success coaches are instrumental in helping students explore academic pathways, making informed decisions, and charting their educational journey. And we work hand in hand with you, the students, to identify any obstacles, set achievable goals that work for you, and cultivate strategies for academic and personal development. So together we form a dynamic partnership dedicated to nurturing student success and well-being. So without further ado, I will pass the floor over to April Lewis, the Director of Advising Initiatives, to talk about all things academic advising. Thank you again, April, for being here with us.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, and thank you all for joining. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about advising, your role in advising, your academic advisor's role in advising you. And so we'll just kind of go through some slides and then how you can also contact your academic advisor, and then also how you can, advise yourself a little bit while you're waiting to meet with your advisor as you're starting to plan for classes. So next slide, please. So academic advising and use. So what can you expect from your academic advisor and how can they help you? So as Stephanie explained, both your success coach and your academic advisor are here to support you in your journey here at FIU. So advisors definitely assist students in developing those personalized academic plans based on your interest, your goals, and the program requirements for the major that you've chosen. They also provide guidance on your course selection, letting you know about any prerequisites and specific degree requirements that you may have. Academic advisors also help with that goal setting, both short term and long term. So, short term, what GPA do I want to have at the end of the semester? And then what degree do I want to have at the end of 4 years? Academic advisors also help with helping you understand, you know, what are the implications of those choices that you've made, right? So again, we want to make sure you're meeting with your advisor, talking about your goals, and what you hope to get out of your degree here at FIU. Advisors are also experts on program and degree requirements for the major that you've chosen, because all of you have an assigned academic advisor that is specified for the major, right? So they can talk to you all about, what are the required courses, what are the areas of, like what professions can you go into, and also making sure that you're aware of any changes that there may be to curriculum, because sometimes course numbers may change, or they may change a prerequisite for a course, and advisors are experts on that. They also help you with that course selection to make sure that you're taking the courses in the appropriate sequence, to again go towards that goal of timely graduation, and then monitoring your progress, right? So if you're struggling and you're not doing well in your classes, your advisors may reach out and say, hey, it looks like you have a hold based on your GPA or some other milestone or success marker that you may have missed. And again, our goal is your success. And so your advisors will be monitoring that and intervene and let you know about those resources that are available to help you be successful here at FIU. Next slide, please. Advisors also, similar to your success coaches, can direct you to the campus resources that best fit your needs, whether that's tutoring, career and talent development, or different workshops like this one that may be helpful to you, and also connecting you with those opportunities for internships, research, maybe study abroad if that's something of interest to you. And then with regard to career development, again, your major may not directly align with the career that you end up in, and advisors can help you, figure out that path to get to where you want to be, and then assist you maybe with resume building, how to use Handshake and search for jobs, and where to go to help prepare for those interviews that you're going to have. So they can guide you towards all of that. Very important policies and procedures. FIU has a lot of acronyms. They have a lot of different policies and procedures that you may or may not be aware of. If you don't do well in a class, what's an opportunity that you can use to help get your GPA back where it needs to be, maybe the forgiveness policy. So there's a lot of different policies and procedures that your advisor is aware of that they may inform you of as necessary. And again, help you navigate that administrative process, like adding and dropping courses. If you need to add a class late, or maybe you need help dropping a course, they can guide you through those processes as well. And then maintaining that regular communication with you through one-on-one meetings and through the Panther Success Network, which I'm going to get into in a minute. Your Panther Success Network, or PSN, is your gateway to your advisor. It's how you communicate with them, it's how you schedule appointments with them, and how they will also communicate with you. So next slide, please. So advising is a two-way street, though. So you also have some responsibilities and some expectations for you as the student to make the most of that advising relationship. So take initiative, schedule regular advising appointments with your advisor. Registration is opening in March and April for students, and so now is a great time to schedule an appointment with your advisor to talk about the classes you're going to take in summer and fall. And just to make sure that you're on track, that and you can actually go and view the classes now to see what's available and start planning that on your own about some things you think you might want to take, and discuss that with your advisor. So that next bullet about coming prepared, right? Of course, you can go into your advisor's office and say, tell me what to take. But we actually have a lot of tools out there to help you kind of figure that out so that you can go in prepared and discuss your different options for meeting those degree requirements. And so in a couple of slides, we'll talk about the Panther Degree Audit, which is a great tool to help you be prepared for those advising sessions. And then select a list of questions that you might want to have or concerns that you want to discuss in that meeting. And then very importantly, if you are a transfer student, or even if you're a first year in college student and you did, dual enrollment, or advanced placement or IB or any test results, it's very, very important that you send all of those test results and transcripts directly to FIU so that you get that credit that you worked so hard for. And then understanding those degree requirements, again, we'll talk a little bit more about how you can become familiar with the requirements for your major and your degree, and how you can meet them through your coursework and move towards that goal of graduation. And then also keeping track of your progress. I'm always surprised when I meet with students and they tell me, oh, I didn't check my grades this semester. You should always check your grades at the end of the semester to make sure that you got the grade that you earned. Sometimes mistakes happen. Sometimes professors may enter a wrong grade or they may forget to enter the grade. So always check your grades at the end of the semester to make sure you're making that progress towards your academic goals. And then seek clarification if you have doubts or concerns about the major you've chosen or about any of the degree requirements that you see going forward or any policies you don't understand. Ask your advisor. They're there to help you and guide you along this journey. So next slide, please. So there's more responsibilities for you, and we'll go through these briefly. Exploring those opportunities, right? How can you get involved in things outside of just taking those classes that you need for your degree? What are internships you could get involved with, or study abroad opportunities to really make the most of your academic career? And then being open to guidance. If your advisor sees that you're struggling with some of the courses that are required for your major, they may discuss different options for you. Maybe a major would be a better fit for you. Be open to that feedback and discussing those things with your advisor honestly and openly. And then understanding those policies and procedures. As I mentioned, your advisors are experts on those policies and procedures at FIU, and they'll explain them to you. But if you don't understand them, get that clarification, ask questions, and make sure you're following all those guidelines for registration, meeting those deadlines for adding and dropping, meeting the deadlines for enrolling for classes before they begin so you don't get hit with a late payment fee. Those are all things that you want to be on top of as a student, and taking responsibility for those decisions. One of my favorite expressions that we use in the world of advising is, I advise, you decide, right? So your advisor is there to guide you, give you course recommendations and suggestions, but at the end of the day, what you do with that information is your decision. And so, taking responsibility for that and seeking the guidance that you need. And then very importantly, if something changes in your life that impacts your academics here at FIU, make sure you let your advisor know. Or if you're thinking of changing your major, you want to explore other majors, discuss all of those things with your academic advisor. And then finally, utilize those resources that are here for you. We do have, tutoring, career and talent development, your success coaches. We are all here to support you on this journey towards success at FIU. So next slide, please. So how do you find your advisor? The Panther Success Network is, like I said, the gateway to your advisor. And the two things that I'm going to talk about, the Success Network and the Panther Degree Audit, both of those are accessed through your MyFIU, which hopefully as a student you're now familiar with. So you just log on to your MyFIU. Next slide. And click on the Academic Advising tile, then click on the Success Network, then you click on Panther Success Network, and finally that will take you to the login for Navigate. And that is where, on the next slide, you'll see all of the different things that are available there for you. So if you could go to the next slide, please. So this is just a screenshot of a student who actually their advisor was reaching out to them and saying, please make an appointment. This was a student that had some kind of a hold on their account. Advisors do outreach every semester to students that have a progress degree check hold or a warning and probation hold. And so they will actually be very proactive and ask students to schedule that appointment. So if you get an email from your advisor, it'll come through your email and it says, please respond to this appointment request. You should respond to the appointment request, because that means they've set aside appointments just for you to discuss the issue at hand. And I mentioned in this case, this was a holds campaign that we did for students. Aside from that, if you look to the right of the screen, you'll see a blue box that says schedule an appointment. You can always go into your Panther Success Network and click that button and select to schedule an appointment with your advisor that way as well. So you don't have to wait for that campaign email because you may not get one. But if you want to schedule an appointment, the Panther Success Network is the way to do that. And there is an app version of this, which is called the Navigate app, which you can also download on your phone, and very similar features where you can, reach out to your advisor. So other features of the Panther Success Network, next slide, please. So when you meet with your assigned advisor, they will actually create what's called an advising report. And that's where they'll include, maybe the courses that you're taking, the major that you're currently seeking, the course recommendations for the coming term. And so they'll actually record all of that in an advising report. So you don't have to worry about writing it all down and memorizing what your advisor told you. It will actually all be there in the advising report. So you should go back and review those again, especially if you've met with them and it's registration is upon you. You can always go back there to be reminded of the courses that they may have recommended. So again, the Panther Success Network is your guide to your advisor and how you contact them and can really make that connection. So next slide, please. So as I mentioned, in terms of student responsibilities and coming prepared to that academic advising appointment, we strongly encourage students to become very familiar with your Panther Degree Audit, or the PDA. Your Panther Degree Audit is basically your guide to graduation. It outlines all of the requirements that you have for your degree, whether you've met them, whether they're in progress, or whether they still need to be satisfied. And so we'll walk through how to access that on your MyFIU, but it is a much more it's a much more concise and accurate picture than I know some of you may have used the Enroll by My Requirements. We actually don't recommend students to use that. The Panther Degree Audit is your best guide in terms of meeting those degree requirements for your specific program. Next slide, please. So again, MyFIU is how you access this, the academic advising tile, and then degree audit, and then Panther Degree Audit. So that's how you will access your Panther Degree Audit on your MyFIU. And then we'll have a sample and see what that looks like for you. So next slide, please. So the way the Panther Degree Audit is broken down, it breaks it down by the general education or university core curriculum requirements, then general undergraduate requirements that you may need to meet. This is a College of Business student, so it lists out those College of Business requirements, and then this is a business analytics major. So it breaks it down, and again, it's different for every student depending on what their degree program is that they're seeking. And if you go to the next slide, we'll talk about what those little status symbols stand for. So if you see a green check mark, that means that the course is taken, it's already satisfied. So you're good there. If you see a yellow diamond, that means that it's in progress. So you're currently enrolled in the course. You may also see this if maybe you took the course last semester and had an incomplete grade. That would also show as in progress, just so you know. And then you can also plan your courses ahead of time via using the Panther Degree Audit. So you can plan them for future semesters if they're available. So again, we do encourage you to review your degree audit, especially if you're bringing in any kind of credits from another institution or from an exam, because sometimes students think that they've sent transcripts, and so they think they have credit for a course, but lo and behold, it's not populating on the degree audit. So those are all things you want to make sure you get into FIU and then discuss with your academic advisor to make sure that everything is accurate and correct on your record. Next slide, please. So when the Panther Degree Audit is first displayed, everything can either be collapsed or open. We always recommend that you expand and view all. But again, this is an example of, what it looks like when something is satisfied versus not satisfied, right? So for this student, they were missing, applications of quantitative methods in business, and it's showing as not satisfied there. And so that would be a course that, you may plan for a future semester, depending on, does the course have prerequisites? Have you satisfied those prerequisites? And then the next image is if a course is already satisfied. So here, for this not satisfied strategic management course, what's really neat about the Panther Degree Audit is you can actually click on the course itself where it says strategic management, and that will open up the actual, it'll show you the course sections that are being offered for the next term, but it will also show you course information such as what are the prerequisites? Have you met those prerequisites? And so it's really important. Or are there any other class notes? Is the section reserved for a specific group of students? Or, anything like that would be found in the class notes. So we encourage students to make sure that they're looking at that, especially if they get an error message if they try to enroll in the course. Next slide. And so that is my advising in a nutshell. And we will now open it up for any questions that you may have.
Awesome. Thank you so much, April, for sharing all of your knowledge about academic advising with us. This is so helpful, and especially for all of our students here to help really get the most out of that advisor-student relationship. So we have 4 questions. So I'll read them in the chat. So the first one is, how often should I meet with my advisor?
So we recommend meeting with your advisor at least once a semester. Um, Sometimes twice, but definitely, like I mentioned at the beginning, registration is up on us. And so even if you're not planning on taking summer courses and you're like, no, I'm not going to register until fall, you should meet with your advisor now because registration for fall is opening soon. And so you want to make sure you get those courses that you need as soon as you're able to. So, meeting with an advisor, a month prior to the registration opening is actually a really good strategy as a student because you'll get you'll know what courses you need to take, you'll know what actions you need to take once that registration appointment opens for you.
Awesome. Thank you. So on that topic of scheduling appointments with advisors, if a student can't get an appointment with an advisor, if there's nothing available, what can they do?
So that's a great question. I always recommend that students check the advising page for their college because a lot of colleges actually now have drop-in Zoom advising appointments for students where they can just, they have the Zoom information like I know College of Arts and Sciences does. SIPA does. So there's a lot of different departments that actually have drop-in advising available via Zoom, which is new. And then also, if that doesn't work or your college doesn't have drop-in advising, you can always message your advisor on the Panther Success Network and ask like, what can I do to make sure that I can get an appointment with you or another advisor so that I can get the help that I need. And again, the earlier you reach out, the better. If you wait until the day your enrollment appointment opens, it may be a little wait for you to be able to get that appointment. So again, check their website for actual drop-in advising sessions or message your advisor directly on the Panther Success Network to see how you can get connected with them.
Such good advice. Thank you. So our next question is, could my advisor help me develop a plan for the future and course sequencing?
They sure can. So, as I showed you, you have your Panther Degree Audit, which shows you all the courses that you need for your degree, but that, it doesn't tell you exactly what order you need to necessarily take them in. So your advisor can help with that. And also we do have our major maps as well. So if you go to mymajor.fiu.edu, you can actually see, the 2-year and 4-year plans for your degree that also has some sequencing, but your advisor for sure can help you, sequence your courses to make sure you're taking the prerequisites before you try to take the actual course that you need that may require those prerequisites. So your advisor will definitely help you with that. Great question.
Awesome. Thank you. Our next question is, what do I do when all the classes that I need are full?
That's a tough one. So you can always reach out to your academic advisor to see if there may be alternatives for those courses, but depending on what the department is, sometimes you can email the professor directly and request an override. But I do recommend reaching out to your advisor because I know in some colleges, they actually have, they help with, especially if you're getting close to graduation and like that's the class you need. you know, they do have some seats reserved sometimes for students. So, I mean, I would start with your academic advisor for recommendations, but again, you can always also contact the instructor directly and ask if they would provide an override for a full class, which sometimes they will do. And you can find the professor's information again when you're doing the class search. It lists who the instructor is, and then if you go to phonebook.fiu.edu, you can find their contact information.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Our last question that we have for right now is, how can I change my major?
So that's a great question, and again, it depends. So there are some programs that are limited access, and so you can't just, you know, say, "Oh, I want to change my major." So I will tell you that if you are trying to change from one college to another. So let's say you're a biology major in the College of Art, Science, and Education, and you want to change to the College of Business. Those are two separate colleges. So your advisor in the College of Art Sciences cannot help you with that change of major directly. You have to go directly to the department to which you want to change. And every department has a little bit of a different process. So, you know, by contacting the college directly and asking what their process is, they would provide you with that information and whether or not it's, you know, a limited access program or if you have to have a certain GPA. So, you know, but always, you know, it's always the department that you are trying to change into that would provide you with the accurate information on what the process is.
Awesome. Well, those are all of the questions that we have for now. So with that, I will say thank you so much to everyone who joined us today, and a special and heartfelt thank you to my co-host Natalie and to April. You can find all of our contact info on the screen and the different ways to connect with us. So feel free to take a screenshot if you'd like, but also don't forget that this webinar and the slides will be sent to you after this webinar concludes. So you'll have all of this information that way as well. And as I mentioned earlier, we have a brief survey at the end of this webinar, which is now posted in the chat. And so it'll take no more than a minute to complete, and we very much value your feedback. So we'll stick around for a couple minutes for any last minute questions. But if you have them, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Awesome. Okay, I think with that, we will conclude this webinar. Thank you again for coming, and have a great day. Bye.